Hey guys, it's Carl here, Cultivate with Carl.
And Glenn.
And we're today going to talk to you about building a 8-foot by 4-foot raised garden bed, just like we have back in my place. We're over at the Glenstead, and that's because where all the cool tools are. And we're going to put one of these together from scratch and show you how we did it so that you can do it too. What do you think?
Well, it's a very simple procedure, and I guess the question we run into is what lumber to use. We're using treated lumber this time. Guys, we live in South Mississippi. If you throw a piece of wood on the ground for 24 hours, it has termites.
Yeah, 100%.
That's just the way it is down here. We use treated, but we do shield it with plastic so that you don't have any of that leaching into. Even though the stuff they're using now is not supposed to be toxic, I still try to keep as many chemicals out of my garden as possible.
Yeah, so there is a lot of information out there on the web about this. And in the old days, I guess they used to treat it with arsenic, and then cinder blocks were made out of cancerous stuff also. Yep. But we take our plastic and we make a barrier. You've seen me do this on other videos, and you'll see me do it on probably the next video when we fill this thing up. But we use that plastic barrier to prevent any kind of leaching, if there were to be leaching. But just like Glenn said, the termites and the heat and humidity, these beds wouldn't last a season.
Not even one.
Yeah, not even one. So everything down here in the south, Zone 9A, Mississippi Gulf Coast, is going to be done with treated lumber. So, with that said, if you oppose treated lumber, you have the right to your opinion, and I appreciate you. Do what makes you feel good. You know, you could use this same pattern with untreated lumber, or whatever you choose to make your beds out of. This is just how we decided to make my beds. So there you go.
Yeah, you can. The dimensions, that's just, you use whatever dimensions fit you. The technique is just, you'll see how we use 2x4s and 1x6s to brace each other. That's all we're really doing.
Yeah.
Use whatever you want. Use, discarded deck material, discarded fence material. It all works.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's another important thing. You'll see when we go to the big box store how much we paid for all this stuff. Obviously, we're shooting this after we purchased the stuff, but you'll see when we go to the big box store what we paid for it. And I still have 3 pieces of lumber that I picked up for free alongside the road. So that was free, and the important thing about that is that I didn't pay for it, and it was still good stuff. And we're going to use that to our advantage and save a little money in the process. So
and make happy plants.
Make happy plants. And hey, the 8x4 bed is good. It doesn't exactly, the interior dimensions don't exactly line up when you're doing the square foot gardening method. But that's okay because it has ample space for a number of rows on the inside, and there's a lot of space in that 8x4 foot bed.
Yeah, it's 8x4 exterior dimensions. You're talking not even a square foot total loss of that.
Yeah, on the inside.
Interior, so.
Yeah. So it works out pretty good. But okay, here we go. Off to building. We'll explain it as we go. Okay, guys, here we go. $14, $15 for a 12-foot section of, what's that stuff called?
That's actually deck planking. It's just
deck
planking.
Boards. Yeah, so
it's 1x6.
So that's $60 right there. So $60 right here. All right, $60 for that.
4 boards.
4 boards, and then we're debating whether or not we need 2x4s to go around the perimeter. So probably 2x4s. How long?
The 8-foot normal section. You can get them in 12-foot sections.
Okay, so we would need 3 of them.
2 12-foot or 3 8-foot.
Yeah. Okay. Rock on. So there we go. Get materials. Building the beds. Okay, so here we are doing the walk of shame because we miscalculated the number of boards we needed. Instead of 4 6 by whatever, what are these, deck boards?
Yeah, deck board, 1x6 by 12.
We needed 8. So we've already cut the first ones. Now we're on the way back, and Glenn's gonna have to stop by the store and give me some tea. Yep. Yeah, don't face me, face the lizard. All right, there we go. We got a passenger, stowaway lizard.
We saved you, little baby dinosaur.
He's really getting insistent that we buy some insurance. So he's like, "Oi, mate, buy some damn insurance, 15% off." So he's like, "Hey, I'm talking to you."
Let me talk to you about your insurance.
So can I talk to you about our Lord and Savior Godzilla? Well, I think he's gonna be coming in the window in just a second. It's like he's serious about Godzilla. Where the hell? All right, we'll come back with a lizard update. When either we buy insurance or get stomped on by a lizard,
or join the cult of Godzilla.
That's right. All right, watch what you say. We're hot micing it. Okay, at this point, Glenn's going to use some deck screws to screw them into the wood to screw everything together to make a side.
So these screws here for exterior, these are 1 5/8, or it's called 1 1/2. What they're used for mainly is, like I said, I'm not a carpenter. I screw everything together. This will be able to withstand the apocalypse. It is a bit overkill, but that's how I do it.
There you go.
Now, a good trick is to make sure your top one is flush on both ends, and that way you can flush everything, because you may have to do some adjusting as you go down. But do one screw in each end, and then go back and adjust from that.
There you go. Okay, Glenn, explain what we're doing assembling the ends of the beds.
All right. So these are going to be the 2 end caps. Now, we want everything to be flush. So what we're having to do is account for the 2x4 and the 1x6. The 1x6 that's there. And that's 1 3/4 inches. So we've spaced out at 1 3/4 inches. We're going to start securing these to the 2x4 with this gap. This gap will cover that end so that everything will be flush. That's what we're doing here. We've already marked that off on each end. What I'll do, line it up here, and then just like before, we'll just nail them down from there. And this will be our top edge. See the gap here?
Yep.
That'll sit on the end.
Okay.
And we'll do 2 of those.
All right.
All right, we've already secured the first one with our 1 3/4 inches on each end. Now we're going to use that as a basis for the rest of them. And we'll just go ahead and finish it out.
There you go.
Just like that, Numsy. Special bonus points that anybody gets that just like that Numsy phrase. 500.
500 bonus points.
Special bonus points.
All right, here goes side 2. So I'm going to talk because Glenn's got a mouthful of screws. And here you go. See, so that's how it fit together. Are we engineers? No. Will it work? Absolutely. So we're pretty happy with it.
I'm not an engineer, but I did stay at a Holiday Inn Express.
Okay, Glenn, catch us up where we're at.
All right, so what we did, now this is going to be the protectional lip, so to speak. What we did, we cut, these are 4 feet. Theoretically, this should be 8 feet, but remember, these are 3.5 inches long. So we cut off 3.5, or actually just one time, 7 inches. So that now we have a 4-foot section, and these are, I believe it was 91 and something
yep.
inches long. That's going to be our center section for this part, and that actually will add structural integrity as make them aesthetically pleasing.
Plus, when you're leaning into the bed to do something, it actually works out really good. So I'll give you the overall shot.
Now,
so
the centerpiece, that's not screwed in either. Now, if you're building one of these, you're going to need some center structural integrity, and usually it's best to do it at the bottom. Again, you don't want stuff leaching in, but you want to keep those sides from bowing out. So
yeah.
You usually put one in the center just here, and that usually protects that.
There you go.
You technically could do one at the top as well, but then again, you got the leaching issue.
All right, well, let's get this puppy screwed down, and we'll go for some closing comments.
That'll work.
All right, guys, there you go. It's our assembled 8 foot by 4 foot raised bed garden made from deck planks and 2x4s.
That's it.
And deck screws and a whole lot of sweat because
it's hot today.
Our false autumn has fooled us once again. and put us into the 90-degree realm, and so here we are. 2 big iced teas later, we will survive.
We will.
So what do you think?
Well, like I said, I really like this design. I still say they're comparable to anything you could buy, and they will last a lot longer. I like the sturdiness of these, and like I said, if things get to where you can't use it anymore, you can always disassemble it and reuse it.
Yeah. Yep, you know, the average aluminum bed is going for about $200 if you catch them on sale. And, you know, I think at the end with this, we were, what?
See, 80 and
so
40.
Basically 70, so about $150.
Yeah.
So $150 total plus the free wood. Who knows?
And like, guys, this is the same stuff that fences are made of, privacy fences. This is the same stuff that decks are made of. People tear that up and throw it away all the time. If you think about it in the future, you see something laying on the road, dude, scavenge that stuff. It's useful. You can turn it into this.
Yeah. So this will be 2 of this type of beds. We've got 1 more wooden bed to build, which is a duplicate of the first bed we built last year.
Which is a 4x4.
Yeah, the potato bed, essentially. And then I think that'll be it for my raised bed gardens, except for maybe we'll do one long one along the fence.
Yeah.
And then after that, we're going to plow up some space for some corn maybe, and then we'll see how it goes. But this bed, get it in the ground, or get it to the house, get it put up, and then I'll fill it over the next couple weeks. Probably not going to grow anything in it this season. Probably just prep it, put a cover crop on it.
Wait for spring.
Wait for spring. So that'll be that.
Yeah, this is when you need to be planning for spring. This is when you get your soil ready, your spots ready, your garden, your raised beds ready. Yeah. This is now. This is how you do that.
100%. Because already the sun pattern has changed in my yard. With the sun moving into the winter position, I'm getting a lot more shade now than I do during the summer in places. Some of my planters that are affixed were very sunny in the summer are now growing into good cabbage and broccoli time because they get partial shade. So that'll work out pretty well. But now we're going to get this from your house to my house. Easier said than done.
Easily done.
All right, guys. So I hope you enjoyed it. You know, it's not rocket surgery. No. And you don't need an engineering degree. You can certainly put it together if you got the right tools. It's easier. If you got a friend with the right tools, it's even easier, right? That's what I'm saying. Yeah. 2 trips and 2 lows later. And
2 tees.
And 2 tees. And we have a raised bed. So, from Carl.
And Glenn.
Signing off here from Cultivate with Carl.